But a little biography, a little bit of his story and his life is very important.
Rabbi Shimon?
Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, when he passed away, when he was buried in Miron, a couple of years later, his son, Rabbi Elazar, also passed away. Now, the interesting thing is, Rabbi Elazar wasn't buried right away. 13 years, if I'm not mistaken, later. 18 years. 18 years he wasn't buried. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai every year would say, bring me my son. I want my son next to me. Because when you're not buried, the neshama is where? Is still next to the guf. He's in this world, Olam Asiyah. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai said, I want my son. Where is he? I miss him. When we used to learn, fire would be around us. I miss my son. And 18 years later, let's do the story a little bit. Kitzur, his son gets buried right next to the father. But let's get a little bit more to the detail. You know, the Miron is not what we think. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai is not buried where everyone davens. Back in the day, they used to bury people in caves. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai is buried in a cave. Just the Ari allowed them to build on top after so many years. But how did it work? When Rabbi Elazar, when they were going to bury his son, in the Gemara and Masechet, Baba Batra brings down that there is a snake around next to the kever, and said, doesn't let anyone go to Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Imagine, even when he passed away, how holy you have to be just to enter to his grave site. Forget about when he was alive. When he passed away, just his goof, his body, his physicalness. And when the people came, they said, the father's asking for his son. And the snake, he moved to the side, and he went to get buried next to his father. Now, Rabbi Elazar also had a son. His name was Rabbi Yochai. This Rabbi Yochai was also a Talmid Chacham.
After.
He was also a Talmid Chacham. He knew Torah, mitzvot. But when he passed away, when they wanted to bury him next to his father, when they went to the Nachash, they got up to the snake, they said, let the son meet his father. The Nachash didn't move. Why? That's the question. The famous question is, why? So the Gemara brings an answer, also the Midrash, that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and his son, they accepted the Torah b'yisurim, with pain. Notice, to learn in the Ma'ara for so many years, to learn in the Ma'ara with no food, with no clothes, that's how you get Hasagat HaTorah. You know, in Tu B'Shvat, we have, if you look at the big Rabbanim, they all have their plates, they have thousands of fruits, hundreds of fruits. And there's always that small fruit, it's called a buck. Hey, ask them if they even taste it. They don't even taste it, they have it there just as a siman. That's what Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai was eating when he was in the cave. He was eating buck. He was eating stuff that don't even have a taste, disgusting. And that's how he became Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. And that's why his grandson couldn't be buried next to him. Because the level of accepting the Torah wasn't the same as the father and the grandfather. And Maharaya, what is the proof? There's a story in the Gemara that when Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai went to the bathhouse with his father-in-law, Pinchas ben Yair, and they took off their clothes, and Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair saw Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. He felt very disgusted. He said, what happened, Damot? He said, what? He said, your body is full of cracks. It's open. It's all blisters. How do you live? He said, I wish I never saw you like this. He said, I'm happy you saw me like this because I'm only the way I am because of this. What? What is this? Notice, to be in a cave and to be underground learning Torah because your clothes might get worn off. To be inside, they only used to put on their clothes for certain events. That was Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. And that's why all the Torah we have, including the Gemara, because if it wasn't for him and his five Talmidim, we wouldn't even have that. Is b'schut hu? Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. So when we go home, we say, oh, what is to be a tzaddik? What is to be Talmid Chacham? We see people living with castles, they're enjoying life. That's Torah. You know what Torah is? Sacrifice. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai sacrificed. He didn't let the klippah, the Romans, get him. He said they didn't do anything good for me. And that's why he was put down to be killed. They wanted to kill him. Why? Because he stood for what he is. He's a Jew. He said, no, I am a Yid and I'm not gonna levater. I'm not gonna give up for what I believe in. You walk on the street, kippah, no kippah, tzitzit, no tzitzit. Yimach Shemam, I don't want to say, I don't mean them top schut. But you see them wear their whole pajama. You see them wear the Satan. What does the Satan say? Look, Rabbeinu Shalom. Look. And what do we have to do? I'm not telling you to grow peod, beard. Who needs that? Fanatic people have that. We're not fanatic. Kippah. Even a blue kippah.
Mine's also blue.
Even blue. Not black, not green. You see, I'm going to finish with this. In the Masechet Sanhedrin brings down that a big question in the Tanaim. Why did Hashem make the world the way He made it? So many different colors, so many different kinds of people, so many different kinds of animals. If Hashem wanted us to serve Him, right, Torah mitzvot, right? He should have made the world a universal, one way, black and white, one kind of animal, no. Hashem doesn't want that. He knows that Avram and Adam serve Hashem two different ways. He knows everyone has to serve Hashem in his own specific way. And that's what we're here for. Now to connect one last thing with Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, to accept the Torah with pain in this generation is much more easier. And I'll explain to you how. When a person connects himself to the tzaddikim amitiyim bedorenu, to the true rabbanim, which even though it looks like they have palaces and it looks like they're living bekavod, really they're not sleeping yomam valayla, they're not eating besides bread and water, they're not doing anything just only for avodat Hashem. And when you contribute to them for how they live, you are becoming an internal Torah. I'm going to tell you something personal about me. Growing up, my head was like this table. See the table? I think the table understands more Torah than I was in a certain age of my life. But what happened? I didn't live comfortable when I went to yeshiva. I went to yeshiva out of town. If I tell you the smell in that dorm room, Habibi, you would not run, you would fly out. And that's how the Torah opened up. Of course, with the tefillot of my parents and so on and so forth. But now, without gava, yeah, I look crazy, but open a Gemara. Bring anyone in the street, open a Gemara with me. It's going to be the end of the world. And that's what it is to have what? Devotion to who? To Hashem. To live not for comfortability, to live because you have to live. Now I want to say L'chaim. I don't drink any alcohol, but I can say L'chaim and Hagefen because today is a Yom Tov. So L'chaim everyone. Rak b'smachot, rak b'yeshuot. It's very important that we should always remember the light of Rabbi Shimon Yochai. But today I was finished with one more thing. I'm sorry. I was learning a little Zohar Kadosh with my class today.
Wow.
As hachana for Lag BaOmer.
The class is here.
And Parshat Emor. We were learning about the story about David HaMelech and Michal and Batsheva. I'm not going to get into the whole story, but I'm going to tell you one thing Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says. Someone that Chas Shalom went over the Isur of Arayot. Anyone that ever thinks, oh, it's the end of the world, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says by himself in the Zohar HaKadosh, I can show you, En davar haomed bifnei hatshuva. Someone that repents and says, Atachti dil, I'm done with all the shtuyot mitzvaniot, Hashem ba'atzmo kvodo comes and gives you the Keter Torah. Of course it comes with Yisurin, of course you need to fix the blemish, it comes with pain, it does come with pain, but the pain comes only when what happens? When Hashem says, I'm here to forgive you. לחיים. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן.
Amen.